Welcome back to the CNET stage at CES 2017. Joining me now is a very special guest, T-Mobile CEO John Legere.
Great to be here.
Thanks for being here.
You're a star, Roger.
I'm not, please.
Fans waving in there.
They're taking selfies with you, not me, trust me.
Roger.
So you just wrapped up the T-Mobile presser. For the folks who didn't get to go, why don't you run through the announcements that you made for T-Mobile One?
Yeah, well, we did a couple things. First of all, and you've been a part of it, 4 years ago today, we announced the Un-carrier. And so we did a little recapturing of how much the world has changed.
Right.
155 million people no longer have contracts, all that crazy crap you used to know about free devices, all overages. So we captured kind of what's gone on. Right. And then I actually announced Q4 results because I wanted people to know how well things are going. 2.1 million net additions, 1.2 million postpaid, 933,000 postpaid phones, and 541,000 prepaid.
So let's get into some of the news.
Well, it's easy for you to say, get on to the news. And so then what we did is, we had discussed the fact that the world and mobile internet has changed and requires new rules. So amongst the new rules were, what you see should be what you pay.
Okay.
So we're the first wireless carrier on the postpaid side to go all in taxes and fees. So that's $40 a line, period, for a family of four. And then we announced something called kickback. Right. And what it is if you don't use it, we should pay you for it. So in effect, additional lines on T-Mobile One are $20, but if you use 2 gigs or less, we'll give you $10 back. We also extended the uncontract to T-Mobile One Unlimited, which means we will never raise your rate, we guarantee. And lastly, what we kind of said is, mobile access shouldn't be sold in the bit and byte. So I announced that as of January 22nd, we're going all in on T-Mobile One, and all we're going to sell is T-Mobile One Unlimited.
So I want to jump in on that because when you first did that, you made that announcement in the summer with Un-carrier 12. T-Mobile One would be the one plan for you guys. You got a lot of backlash for that. You got a lot of heat. Folks weren't really happy with it. The cynical folks would say, well, you're eliminating the cheap plan for folks who don't use that data. So in effect, is this sort of your way of addressing some of those concerns?
Yeah, interesting. This is going to take some time for people to realize that it's not trickery, right? Because in effect, let's suppose somebody was a low-end user, minimal data plan. Suppose they paid $50. That plan with taxes and fees is more than you would ultimately get if you're a low user and you bought one line on T-Mobile One and got kickback. So in effect, $40 a line. Let me give you one piece that's cool. Verizon, I love Verizon, it's kind of the same colors. Their XXL plan, that's kind of like the me size plan, it's $110 a month. But the bill says $210.70 because it's part of the industry in the United States has $17 billion worth of fees that aren't part of what's advertised. So it's a big deal. How does that work,
though? Because taxes and fees aren't under your control, right? Taxes and fees can actually go up, or taxes can go up, state, local taxes.
Right. So in effect, what we're doing with this, we're not raising price. So voila, everybody will save money. Now, we anticipated this when we announced T-Mobile One, and we are not raising prices. And we are investing this money. These fees don't go away. USF, sales, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to pay them, investing in our customers, and that's what makes us the fastest growing wireless company in America.
Okay, well, look, moving on, I mean, you made some other bold predictions. One of which I found very interesting was Google. One of the big players entering the wireless business. What makes you think some of these guys are going to get in there?
For the people who weren't there, I decided at the end to just make a few predictions, like, no big surprise, that the cable players are coming into wireless.
Right.
So Comcast and Charter are coming in with an MVNO. And what I predicted is, no, it's not going to work. Nobody's buying that crap. It's, the Verizon MVNO is not going to provide them the ability to compete with us. And those monopolists, they don't know how to compete. So welcome on in, you're going to get your ass kicked. Now, second, then I said, the mobile internet space is huge. So if you're Facebook, you're Apple, you're Amazon, you're Google, you're going to sit by and watch? Somebody's coming in a big way. And I picked Google. I mean, they got Google Fi, they've got Pixel, they got Android. So I don't know, I'm not clairvoyant. I say they're coming in. And by the way, come on in. So I had a few other.
That's the thing, though. Google is a big company with a huge brand, right? I mean, why wouldn't you be nervous by a Google competing against Google?
Right now, Google is in wireless. It's called Project Fi.
Right. And you guys are a partner.
What do they do? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Listen, I think what you learned from the Un-carrier over the last 4 years is if you focus on your customers and give them that want, you shouldn't be shocked when they love it. And there's nothing Google has to offer except a whole shitload of money. You can't say that on this. You can
say it.
Oh,
We'll
boatload.
bleep it later.
But no, bring them on in. And by the way, remember, with T-Mobile, we do mobile very well. And the industry's going to change. I'm not saying we won't be a part of some of these things, right? We may find a way using our brand and capability to deliver. Right now, last thing I'll say on this, don't you think it's crazy that the industries are defined by the infrastructure that they built? So it's the cable industry, the wireless industry, the internet industry. I get news for you. These folks with their devices could care less. They want all of you to get your shit together and then figure out how to let them watch whatever they want, whenever they want, wherever. So bring it together. It's all coming together.
So I wanted to ask, and I asked you this at the press conference.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to President-elect Trump?
Well, listen, so far, there's a lot of anticipation about an environment of less regulation, potentially lower tax environment, the ability to invest more. Some of the restrictions that have been put on us, there's a lot of expectation that they will be freer to compete. Certainly the markets have been quite responsive to a lot of his initial ideas. And I would tell you that I'm quite optimistic about the economic environment, and I'm planning in 17 to invest heavily and grow in the business. And I wouldn't, do that unless I was.
You guys have made peace after your little Twitter feud?
I don't see anything as a Twitter feud. The issue for me is, I've always been outspoken on Twitter. So has, President-elect Trump. And we did, at one point in time, what two people that play on Twitter do. Only for other people is that seen as abnormal. Somebody tweets a tweet back. By the way, I would say, before he came along and did what he's doing on Twitter, I was like, a pretty good Twitter guy. That guy's got game. He's not, when he gets up and does his, geez, it's a big deal.
No, that's debatable.
I actually think he's using social media communications in a way that no one's ever seen before, and I know because I do it similarly myself.
I mean, yeah, I would argue that you, from a business perspective,
I might use it against you there. See, Roger, I can, I can tweet about you.
Please don't.
Yeah, I got photos.
Please don't.
Just saying.
I know you do.
You got yellow shoes on, which is kind of annoying to me.
Laker yellow, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Not Sprint yellow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Just wanted to be clear.
Okay.
No, look, it leads me to my next question, because Trump is all of a sudden very BFS with Masa Son, who's head of SoftBank, who's a Sprint parent company. Do you see a Sprint T-Mobile merger down the line?
First of all, let's not trivialize Masayoshi Son to just being Sprint. This is one of the wealthiest, most powerful guys, in the world, and he made a $50 billion investment, 50,000 job commitment to President-elect Trump. That's a big deal, and it should be applauded. What gets into that is what's going to happen in the environment in the United States. And as I said, Sprint needs to do something. Some people are asking, is there a possibility? Yeah, there's a possibility of any different kind of consolidation. There's also a possibility that a cable company would buy Sprint. There's going to be change. It's going to be fantastic. And right now, it's certainly, it's created a lot of enthusiasm around the industry.
Yeah, certainly the telecom companies have been pretty happy about it. I don't know if everyone's happy about it, but
yeah, everybody except CNET. I mean, here, Roger. Come on, look at you. You're a star here. This is great.
I'm not a star. Please stop saying that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be an video interview with you without the word association game.
Of course.
So I wanted to end it with that. So I'll throw out a couple words. Please give me the first word that comes up in your mind. All right. AT&T.
Shit.
Verizon.
Oh, we can't say that.
Verizon.
Okay, dumber.
Sprint.
Yellow.
Google.
Big.
Unlimited.
Only at T-Mobile.
Okay. What about Sprint?
No, it's unlimited, but it doesn't work.
All right, last, Ben Affleck.
Oh, Batman.
All right.
Pretty good.